Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about Lucina's MU chart. First, we're going to start with the not enough experience. I'm going to just get these out of the way. These are just characters I haven't played against in bracket and or only have very little knowledge of. So I can't form a definitive opinion or say what I can say. Like, let's say you know what? Let's say Kirby. I could say slightly winning. Some might say win or even, and you could say, oh, but what's wrong with that? The thing is, I don't want to rate a character I don't have experience with in bracket, and it could just lead to a detrimental, opinion. For me, I feel not because I think I'd be wrong, because just like many MU charts into your list, opinions are subjective. Some could say I'm wrong. Some could say they agree with me. Some could say it's a hot take. And then there can be subjective opinions that are just objective opinions that are correct. And it's just I don't. It's just if when I go to rate these characters, I won't know what to say. And I just don't want to say, oh, because I believe this and that. I want to express my opinion the way I see it after experiencing the matchup and seeing it in action, not just friendlies or someone who used the character for fun a little bit. All right, we got that out of the way. Now let's get to explaining to the I say it's a win category. Something that's in common with these is that they have projectiles that are like puzzles to get through, and or once Lucina gets the advantage on them, they're gonna have a hard time getting in. So then it'd be up to a mistake of you, the player, for them to get in. But if you play your cards right, they should be pretty manageable to you without any hassle, really. Let's look at Bowser Jr., Duck Hunt, Isabelle, Villager, K. Rool, Link, uh, and the Mii Sword Fighter. Basically, puzzles that get through. Once you get in, it's not that hard to like outmaneuver them, outpace them in certain areas. Isabelle and Villager can be pretty tricky because of their forward air and especially Villager's side B. But like you can get a little bit aggressive with these guys once you figure out their projectile puzzle and their defensive game. You could say the same thing about Piranha Plant, but like the only good move he has here that can threaten you is the neutral B. But once you get out of that, what's he gonna do? He could do down B to get you, but you can also just hit him when he's extending that. Zelda can also be a bit of a puzzle, but you outbots her so hard in so many areas. Like as long as you do your best not to get hit by the aerials, there's not much she can do. Oh, there's side tilt or down tilt to set you up for fair. But what else? What else is there? I and then let's talk about Ness. He's like a puzzle too, but he's a bit more complicated. But this is definitely a matchup that can just turn into a super doable one. Like super doable. Once you get past those aerials, that PK fire spam, and you try to play a game that forces him not to grab, it can be pretty nice. He can kill early, that's a threatening thing. But then again, LMAN can kill early, Ganondorf can kill early, Link can kill early. Like, plenty of characters in this game can just kill extremely early. So, I don't think that's much of a plus going into the next matchup. You can take away his thunder by running into it. You can fair him before he hits it. You can heck just counter and he doesn't reach. Like there's a lot you can do with Ness once you get past his annoying buttons. Like I saw someone say that Ness's buttons make him a choose to lose character. I agree because he's really annoying. But then there's the fact that if you had to pick a list of the choose to lose characters, Ness would probably not be there, but he can feel like that sometimes. He's sword fighter, you know, another puzzle. He's got a sword too, but unless it's down tilt, what else is he gonna do? Seriously, what else is he gonna do? And heck, like some of his sword moves, you might just outrange them in general. What if he's doing down air? You can trade it with up smash. I feel he's gonna do up air, and maybe you won't get hit by it thanks to the whole triple SDI thing that Gimmer has made at the time of this recording, January 2nd. And then there's Mario and Dr. Mario. Let me cover them both. They have no range. They're just stubby and not short enough to avoid your attacks, so they're just gonna get hit. I mean, Dr. Mario has a more disadvantageous position here than Mario due to his recovery, but then you remember Mario just has better frame data too and a better recovery, so it could lead to a more pleasant experience if you're the Mario. But it's definitely a rough time for both. Like they need to be really patient. And for Dr. Mario, he can kill earlier than Mario, yes, but he's gonna get outranged by Lucina even in his kill moves, because unlike Mario, his premier tool F Smash can kind of outrange Lucina sometimes. Dr. Mario, he just can't do that. He's stronger at the base, so you just F Smash, or you know, if he's charging it, you can just shield breaker his head, you know. And for Little Mac, there's the whole counterable recovery, like I said. But with Little Mac, you can just back throw him, force a 50-50. Is he gonna counter? You can just wait it out, hit him, or down air. And then if he side Bs immediately, you can counter that. Like, it just becomes a 50-50 in so many situations. And if you just win those 50-50s, it's a stock you get at less than 50% just by edge guarding and ledge trapping. But on stage, he can be a menace, so definitely don't go FD. But even then, you can just hover like above him sometimes. This is one of the few times aerial Lucina can be pretty good. Like, Lucina has really good aerials, but like sometimes you want to do them close to the ground for that safety. And Lil Mac, you know, once you get past the whole, oh, he's got armor shenanigan, he should not be a threat. He should be a super non-threat. And for Villager and K. Rool and Isabelle, I did say it's puzzles once you get in, there's stuff, you know, to do. But I feel K. Rool suffers a bit more once Lucina gets in, because not only does he have the belly armor that breaks and he's in a shield broken state, but he's also got his regular shield that Lucina can force a break with shield breaker. So, like, the Lucina pressure, I think this could maybe be a slight win if the K. Rool meta advances and Lucina did not have shield breaker, but due to shield breaker, I just think she, like, forces a lot of pressure on you, like, oh no, what if I shield? Oh, I gotta use my belly armor. But belly armor can only take a certain amount of hits. So how long are you gonna be relying on that? But you can air her off the stage thanks to his belly armor. Yes, if the Lucina sees you doing that, they cannot be save their jump, right? And maybe just get back regularly. Ganondorf, I don't need to explain. The Villager and Isabelle, the most, like, Villager's got the specials to deal with some Lucina stuff. Isabelle just doesn't. The most she has is probably down B, but you can just down tilt the thing. Oh, she's gonna use the fishing rod. There's the shield. Villager tree can be a little bit hectic, and Lloyd Rocket can be annoying to deal with, but nothing that you should not have the tools to deal with. But Duck Hunt, he definitely has zoning tools. He can also have some boxing tools, but when I say some, it can't be like, you know, something that, oh no, I'm getting out neutraled in close range. No, you're not gonna get out neutraled close range. You just outrange him. He's gonna down tilt, boom, go do a forward air into the dancing blade down, and you just get your damage. And he's also pretty edgeguardable, so there's that too. Like, Lucina is a character that forces a lot of 50-50s and advantage states, you know? But once you get them, she gets the reward out of it. Ganondorf, I don't think I need to explain. We can just skip over him. He can kill, he has certain amounts of range, yes, but he's also going to be combo food. He is a bad recovery guy. Not as bad as Chrom. He can actually get somewhere, I think. But, yeah. Lucina can edgeguard him. And Lucina's got counter. So if the Ganondorf gets a bit too mashy with his options, Lucina just gets free damage out of counter. I'm putting a lot of emphasis on counter here. But, yeah, counter's your best friend in the Ganondorf matchup if he gets mashy. And for Chrom, the last character I'm going to cover here, you know what? I'll do it with Roy as well. It appears I opened up File Explorer. Oh dear. But yeah, let's do Chrom and Roy. See, Roy's down here and slight losing. I think this could be a slight win or even for Lucina, were not for Chrom's up B. And Chrom has certain moves that Roy has that can either kill or lead into more damaging combos, like forward air. I mean, not forward air, up air. Like, Chrom up air deals so little damage. Sure, it doesn't do much knockback, but then you remember Lucina's light. Maybe she can SDI, and then you remember she has that frame 1 option out of there, like flick SDI plus that. She won't get hit much by these combos. And for Roy, it's kind of a saving grace because you'll just get hit by the noodle. Like, the thing with Roy, when he gets in, it's a pain. You're gonna suffer. When Chrom gets in, it's the same thing as if he were spacing you out. But the thing is, right, even though if Roy uses his noodle on you, you're not going to be sent far away. With Chrom, you're going to be sent a little bit more further away, so that gives you a bit more leeway to escape his combos. And along with his up B, making him just horrendous, at off stage, at anything. Like, Chrom is definitely a character that was balanced for casual play, because when it came to competitive play, he's a god on stage, yes. But then we got characters with even faster moves and kill earlier. Like, Mythra is just what Chrom was at the beginning of Ultimate's meta, to a certain degree. And it's just not been fun for Chrom. Everyone's getting better at edge guarding. Like, how come... And then Pyramithra also has a bad recovery. But she at least has mix-up options. That's the key difference with Chrom and so many other bad recoveries. Mix-up options. He does it. His jump and air dodge didn't reach the ledge. You know what he's going to do? He's going to up B. Oh, you can hit him from the top or from the side because of the voice line. Like, if you play on a setup with sound, this is way too easy. You hit on a setup without sound, you still got counter as Lucina. So Chrom can become just a non-issue. And with Bowser Jr., he's also got a bad recovery. Like, most of these... I'd say the one character with a good recovery here is Zelda or Mario or the villagers, but theirs are exploitable, so you can't put that much. But the thing with Bowser Jr., right? The only thing he's got that can be threatening is neutral B, because down B you can, the Mecha Koopa one, yeah, you can grab it. Oh, here comes side B. You know it's going to be a predictable move. His aerials, yeah, they're going to be the more threatening thing because of the combos. But you have up tilt to anti-air. Like, if the Lucina is forced to play defensively here, you're going to have... It's going to be pretty easy to just keep him out. And even then, even offensively, they might have a better shot at just, getting them out and stuff. But that's just what I think for these matchups. Like, they all have something that just makes it a bit more extremely easy than others. Like, it's just something you have to figure out, and you're going to get it just fine. Now let's move a little bit downward. Slightly winning moment. Let's first do Yoshi. He's a simple one to take out here. Yoshi is a character you want to out hit bots. Yeah, and Lucina can do that too. And he's also got an exploitable recovery because he's got no B special that goes up just like Jigglypuff. But the thing is, yeah, he's got armor. But with Yoshi, right, you can also still outrange him. He's gonna do nair to nairs. Like, his combos are close to the ground, you will get comboed. And I think that's one of the key differences here. But Yoshi is like a win, but not a win-win. Like, this is a win. If you get careless, you could potentially lose. But this isn't also a win that can be hard to do. It's more like a win that if you get out-neutraled or outmaneuvered with his aerials by the other player, then you're going to have a bad time. Like, if you just go into Yoshi's shield, like, if you just play Brain Dead against Yoshi and his more shield stuff and his armor properties, you will have a bad time. But I think it's just pretty doable too. Now let's do Toon Link. Toon Link is a character that you can just out projectile. Okay, that came out wrong. Let me rephrase that. You can out bots Toon Link. That's what I wanted to say. But his projectiles, like the ones above, they're gonna be a puzzle. With Toon Link, he's also got an exploitable recovery, yeah. And you can also predict when he wants to use the grappling hook. This is a common thing. Like, if you, with many characters, if you get their tethers down, you'll know when to punish them. It's just harder for Lucina because she doesn't have a projectile or something that just goes down and hits them. Like, let's say Villier Bowling or Steve Anvil or Steve Fire or the Belmont's hold jab at ledge. Definitely Toon Link is a puzzle, yeah. And he's not a character you want to challenge in the air that much because his aerials can be deadly. So if you keep yourself grounded, this is a good win you can take. Now, for Wii Fit, she has an X factor. This is gonna be a common thing with many of the more characters we go down. That an X factor being deep breathing. She can just kill Lucina with some setups and combos like that. But if the Wii Fit does not know what they're doing, this also becomes an easy win. You also got hitboxes that just out hitbox her by so much due to her attacks hitboxes being kind of small. So she needs you close. That can also just leave her in range of, oh, I don't know, Lucina up B sometimes. And, you know, up tilt kind of is your best friend right there because most of the time she might be going in. You can just jab the soccer ball too. Oh, salute the sun. In a setup of audio, this will be easier to detect. But in a setup without audio, this might be harder, so you need to react on point. But nothing that, like, it's a puzzle, yeah? But that X factor kind of evens the matchup out. But it shouldn't be one that you should have trouble with. And now, even though Ken and Ryu are in different spots, I kind of consider them different characters, despite being echoes. I think they should have been semi-clones. But they have things to justify them being echoes. So we'll talk about those two. I think Ryu's a bit more threatening than Ken because Ken combos, yeah. If you get lazy, you get real lazy, then Ken's gonna fuck you up. If you don't, flick SDI, you can escape his attacks, and if you manage to escape while he's still doing the attack, you can just reverse the situation or neutral with forward air and air, or just maybe if you're lucky, do a side B, get some free damage out there. They got Hadouken, yeah. That still isn't enough, but I think Ryu's better against Lucina than Ken is. Because Ryu's damage hits harder than Ken's, and it isn't very multi-hit focused, so once Ryu hits you and you SDI, it's most likely that his attack will have finished. Whereas with Ken, if he hits you with a ground move that's a like crescent kick, then he's probably gonna still be there for a while doing the move. And he's also got Shakunetsu, which is really good. One thing that makes these two really good against Lucina is their down B, and Lucina has a lot of single hit moves. Like, her multi-hit move on the ground is just doing jab because it's fast. Or if you're lucky, you can do a side B down 4. And, or if you're in the air, Nair. They also have recoveries that you can counter easily. Like, if they don't aim for the ledge well, you can counter and still hit them. There's then side B, you can just counter. Like, like it's a game of cat and mouse with the edge guarding, but you definitely have the edge there over them. There's not a safe move they can do. They'll have to risk something. So you just have the advantage there. But this is also another factor I might be considered, that just going to be considered for the rest of these, is that Lucina's damage output is not up to snuff sometimes, and she's gonna get like what, 20. Ryu here, he gets you a combo, he's gonna do 40. Like, Lucina is mostly 50-50 and 50-50 based and advantage state based. That's the thing. Advantage state is not the same as, oh, look at you did this cool string. She depends on how many hits she's gonna get on you. How is she going to react to your option? She can have strings too. She does have strings, but she's not really focused on strings whatsoever. She's definitely focused on that advantage state to get the strings, but it's not like a game plan that she needs to work around with. And Ryu and Ken just can play that defensive game, so they make her life a bit of a hell to get in. But this is a win that you have the tools to do, but it's going to be a little bit harder sometimes. Robin, I want to say, as we get into Robin, I say, is a slight win, not a win, because her magic and her Nair with Levin can make Lucina uncomfortable. Sure, she can run out of materials, but a good Robin, key emphasis good, is not going to, use all of his attacks lightly. Heck, if they catch you being desperate, they can sneak in a Nosferatu and get like 16 damage, I think it is. I don't know, it's like 2-digit damage due to Ultimate's damage or inflation that, they can recover. I know Nosferatu is not good, but even if your character's move is not good, it's still something to consider. Like, you gotta consider every factor. And, like, Levin can just be a nightmare, especially its range. Then there's the whole magic thing, yeah? Like, Robin's definitely going to be playing defensive against you, but you definitely got the tools to deal with him. Her. Whichever Robin you prefer, but Robin, she can be a bit of a threat. But, not really, because she can run out of materials. That Levin Nair's not going to last forever, so the Robin player needs to make sure they use it correctly. So if you're playing an aerial Lucina here, you're going to get hit by that Levin Nair a bit too much. And now as for Ridley, Ridley goes or beats Cloud, I think it was. No, wait, I remember now. Spargo said that Ridley beats Cloud. This could be because of range. Like, this is why maybe DK goes even with Cloud as well. And DK, Chunky Kong said, goes even with Lucina. By the way, follow Chunky Kong on Twitter or wherever you can find him. Really good DK labber. Amazing labber. I choose to believe his opinion too. But as I use this for Ridley, yeah? Ridley's hitboxes aren't as big as DK's. Like, the most he's going to have is Nair. But once you use that Nair, Ridley's really susceptible to, like, Lucina Nair going down. So it just becomes like an easy, scope him out sort of thing. And then, he's got that up B. Super Like, you want to counter this move because it just kills early. Like, the most threatening thing really has is probably his side B towards you and his side tilt. But after that, he's got nothing else. Maybe up smash, but I've never seen a really hit up smash in my experience. But yeah, you can just outpace him with it too. I say slight win because there's the range department, but this is something Lucina definitely has in the bag. And now for the Belmonts, just like the most of the other projectile users that are threatening to her, and Me Gunner is also part of this, and so is Banjo Kazooie. Puzzle and all of them are two puzzle projectiles, but once you get in, it's gonna be easy. But the thing that makes them a bit threatening is that they got the range. So if the Simon and Richter, you know, snipe your approach options, it's gonna be hard for you to reset neutral. And Lucina is a character that likes to do that in certain aspects, but they will be doing that better than you. It's up to them to leave an opening for you, especially in the ledge trapping. I was up against a Simon a few weeks ago, and there was one stock that he just played an impressive ledge trapping there. It was really hard for me to get in, but once I got in, I could do stuff. And it was more of my problem not having a good enough advantage state afterwards. So this matchup, you really want to know what to do when you get in. If not, you can just end up not doing that much damage or just letting them get a free recovery. And now for Olimar, you can break the Pikmin. I think this is a way bit doable matchup. Even because Olimar can be kind of insane sometimes. Not even, I mean slightly winning. But Pikmin should not be a problem. They should not pose a threat to you. You outrange Olimar. You force them to have no Pikmin. What's this character going to do? Nothing. It's just Pikmin can be a bit threatening, and if you don't know what they're doing, what Pikmin do, which one each of them does, then you're screwed. Bad. So that's my reasoning for Olimar. And Pichu, the same way I look at slightly winning Pikachu. If you camp Pichu out, he's going to have to damage himself so much. I apologize for the audio cut. There was the focus right I'm using has a bit of an audio problem. It cuts out on me in the worst times, and I need to figure this out. But I want to get this video to test out the microphone, so let's get it. But Pichu, yeah, he's got frame data like Pikachu, but the thing with Pichu, yeah, like I said, camping is gonna be a bitch. And it's gonna hurt him more than it's gonna hurt you, because he's gonna have to approach you, and this is your key moment to hit him hard. You can hit him hard, and you can have an easier time killing him too. But the thing is, he's pretty fast, so you're gonna have to catch him. So it's like that meme with the rat where you choke when this guy chokes the rat. Yeah, that's how this matchup feels. Maybe you could put this in even due to the frame data, but I feel like the damage output that the self recoil Pichu does is so significant here. It just helps a lot. And then we have Me Gunner, like I mentioned with the Belmonts, a puzzle, especially the neutral B that has like a bouncing grenade. But even then, I don't think Me Gunner has the botsing options to deal with you, even though they got some crazy ones. Like I think down tilt can be crazy, so can side tilt. And then there's the aerials. Nair for Me Gunner is the outlier here. Really good Nair. And they can run away with fair. I think that's like... It had dash something in it. I don't remember. Like in 2019, I went them secondary Me Gunner for a bit. And I think I learned that trick pretty easily. I mean, it's kind of easy to do fair and then back, and the momentum hits you hard. But yeah, Me Gunner often feels like Pichu in this regard. You grab them, and you're like, I can finally do something. They unless they use the up B that's really short, that's really bad, you can't counter the recoveries that easily. But you can definitely snuff them out, and you know, two frame them too. Like, you have the options to deal, like with slightly winning, you have the options to deal with them here pretty easily. You just can't get careless, and I think that's what makes it a slight win. But even then, they have threatening projectiles. Heck, they can be Samus too, but with a better up smash. So, you know, that's threatening. Then we have Mewtwo. Mewtwo is a glass cannon. His combos can definitely be threatening for Lucina. But then you realize, due to your weight, you kind of escape them easily. So unless he's tech chasing you 100% of the time, like accurately, like getting a good read for you, you can deal with him pretty easily. He's big thanks to his tail. Like, due to his floatiness, and you can't spam air dodge in this game as you could in Smash 4, you can just keep him in the air for long, and his get up and his neutral get up can be pretty slow. You can also shield poke him with back air for some reason. I don't know how. But yeah, you definitely have this in the bag, but the combo's gonna be rough. But that's it. That's the combo. Because recovery, you can snuff, you can take out his teleportation sometimes, and I think that's a huge factor. Like, Mewtwo is just be careful of his combos really, and don't be careless on the ledge. Like, combos and ledge, that's all you need to look out for. I think that's the things he has over you, but that's about it. You could say range too, but most of his range moves don't really do much. Like, forward tilt is just Sephiroth F tilt, but not as, you know, long. His up tilt can be something. His back air can be something. Like, Lucina has enough jumping power to, like, just float away from Mewtwo. So unless the Mewtwo goes deep, like real deep, then he's not gonna catch you. So don't worry about it. And you know, he's got Nair too as well. Like, unless the Mewtwo doesn't do the, yeah, you like, hold on, let me rephrase this. Unless the Mewtwo player does that tech where you have less, um no, wait a minute, I'm getting the clip confused. Mewtwo was the one punishing. Never mind. So yeah, there's Nair. You cannot be out of that. That like, that's their main combo starter. I feel like their main neutral tool. They have the charge shot move, neutral B. Mute said he values that a lot. I feel like he's onto something with that. And yeah, there's the Shadow Ball stuff. There's the side B stuff. But like, that's the Shadow Ball's all he's got for camping you out. So you definitely can just get in and, you know, do some damage to him. And just like Pichu, he's gonna be light and floaty. Well, Pichu's not floaty, but Mewtwo is. So it should be a pretty decent kill for you. We'll raid that Ken with Ryu. But something I will add is that Ken's side B is multi-hit, so look out for that. But now as we go to Incineroar, right? You have to outrange him. You have to camp him out, but don't let him get you to the ledge, because that's his trap. Like, this definitely can go wrong with to Lucina. I even wanted to put this in even, but my personal bias could be slight losing. But then that's just not accurate enough, because Lucina can combo the Incineroar, and if you know your true combos and you don't, and if you detect that he can just mash his down B out of your combos, you know what you can do, right? You can just wait and F smash, get him out, make some distance, create distance. It's something like, you want distance against Incineroar. Oh, he's gonna do his side B. You, like, this is the one chance you kind of want to spam F smash just to get him away from you, or whatever move that can be faster than that in the situation. I say maybe not jab, because he's gonna be like, if he techs, he'll be closer to you. Countering doesn't work as much because he can just phase through you. But if he's landing on stage, you definitely want to counter that and just hit him. Like this is something you want to keep your distance from, and if you don't, you're gonna lose. But keeping your distance should be an easy thing, and like the Incineroar can get predictable with it, so I think I'll just keep it in slightly even for now because of that. And now we're gonna go to someone who you just want to like run away from. It's Ike, but you can also just outbox him immediately. Ike's moves are pretty slow. Like the moment, like punishing is F tilt is forward tilt, pretty easy. Down tilt, pretty easy. Like punishing Ike can be pretty easy. So he has to Nair, and Nair's predictable. So unless the Ike is actually mixing you up with the tomahawks or some shenanigans like that, this is pretty easy. But then you remember, wait a minute, he's a swordy with a lot more range. Against characters with more range than you, Lucina can struggle a bit, like a lot. His forward air can send you at a nasty angle off stage if he hits you deep. He's also got one of the down airs that hits really good below ledge. That can spike. Roy and Crumb have the same down air, but their spike hitbox is at the middle. So if they hit you with the bottom hitbox, you're gonna be sent up. So you could definitely SDI yourself with that, or just DI in a certain direction, not get hit. And Ike has a missable recovery. Like, sure, oh, what if he up B's, side B's above stage? You can hit him, yeah. But they can also predict when you're gonna go there. Like, he's got a bad recovery, sure, because it's pretty exploitable. And ever since Raw, if your recovery is exploitable, then it's been bad. But the thing with, like, yeah, he's got two ways to make it exploitable. He can also Ether reverse. Crom can also do this. But the thing with Ike is that he throws the sword, so it makes it a little bit safer for him. Heck, and there's a certain way you can throw Ike's up B against Sora's counter, and Ike just doesn't get hit because he just throws the hitbox up. Crom doesn't. He goes with the hitbox. That's what makes his Ether even worse than Ike's. And Ike also, this is a matchup, yeah, where if you're disadvantaged, you're gonna have to approach, and just like with Roy, it's not gonna be a fun time because Ike is a defensive character made having to play offensive. So don't get careless, and by don't get careless, you could get careless against certain attacks, but you definitely don't want to be in a position where you're hit by dash attack, or you get F tilted at ledge with the angle up, so he hits you in the head. So be careful with that. Hero, I'm gonna do Hero now. He has range just like Ike, but the thing is, yeah, his attacks are a little slower, so he relies more on his specials, and that side B is a very DLC move in certain aspects. And he's also got Accelerado and Oomph and Psych Up. I think this is more of an easy win. Just watch out for his MP. Like, you want to make the hero waste his MP. You don't want to give him MP and then, he's going to be dead off stage without his MP. And if he Oomphs and Psych Ups and he's mashing attacks instead of grab situations, you can counter. Or better yet, you can just parry with but don't do that against the smash attack in case of a crit, and you do the shield. And you can just camp out his Oomph. You can't camp out his Psych Up, but if he's forced to do like a jab or an up air, you're not gonna get killed by those moves. You're only gonna get killed by back air, forward air, dash attack, any smash attack, or F tilt. But you're not gonna get killed if he has to do down tilt, up air, nair. There you can just tech on the stage. I think you can. I don't remember. But even if you're forced, even if he stage spikes you like on stage, not like side of the stage with down air, it's fine. Like he's got a crackle slash and flame slash. But unless he's got you in an extension situation, you're not gonna see those moves be hit. Hatchet Man, if he's gonna go Hatchet Man and you think you can go in and do some counter, then that's a free kill, 44 damage, and you just killed him for it. So there's that, and that's all I can say about Hero. Just don't let him use MP. So it's more of a, you want to use your spot dodge a little bit here in this matchup. For Falco, he can be a zero death machine like Kazuya, and he's basically Bird Luigi like Kazuya's FGC Luigi. Steve is Block Luigi. Rob is Robot Luigi. All that. But the thing with Falco, right? You can escape his combos pretty easily. You can up B him. You can prevent them from entering altogether. He can laser you, yeah, but this isn't Brawl or Melee where he can just double laser like crazy. So you're good. You're going to be good. You're in good hands. He's got a high jump, but if you force him to up B, he can't go far with it. And if you counter it, just like you do with Fots, you can win this. You can definitely win this. But Falco can also catch you off guard, and he can also just frame trap you. So that's what makes it a slightly win. But this is a matchup you can do, just like many of these slightly winnings. Now Falcon, I asked Galletitas, probably the best Falcon player in my region, what he thought. He said it's even. Let me look up his exact wording. He says that Falcon is even. He thinks is even, but that Falcon is definitely more of a threat against Marth. I see that definitely. Like, I want to say slight win because recovery shenanigans, even though Falcon is faster. And the fact that this Falcon kind of relies more on his specials to do certain things. And you can see those things come out. Sure, he's got the up air. You can also escape that in certain situations. But if you're not at a point where you can land quickly, Captain Falcon might land quicker than you and then start all over again. So it's definitely a matchup of keeping up with the tempo. You don't want to get out-tempoed by Falcon. And as well, speaking of out-tempo, I might as well do Fots, because Fots, his frame there is pretty quick. This character's kind of broken, and no one wants to admit it. He's got Shine, he's got the side tilt, he's got the up smash to kill you early. It's a crazy thing, and he can combo you too. And at ledge, he's gonna make your life hell, a living nightmare. But you can juggle him too for being a fast faller. You can catch his air dodges pretty easily. If he side B's to the ledge, that's a down tilt, and then maybe you can do a nair or something out of it if he jumps towards it. Yeah, it's more of a you want to keep up with his tempo and then try to find the point to out tempo him. Once you're getting hit with those up airs, you need to find a way to escape. You get hit with dash attack or nair. Good luck. Like there's this clip running around that of the Fox is doing dash attack nair to a Lucina in a loop. Don't let that happen to you. You can definitely do something against Fox, but if the Fox meta advances, then I think this goes even. But then again, I'm a believer of the Marth Fox matchup going 60-40 in Marth's favor in Melee, and Lucina has that Marth DNA, so I definitely, could just say, slightly winning. Now let's do Banjo-Kazooie, also a sort of puzzle. This could definitely be put in winning, but Banjo can complicate things for you with the eggs more than the other projectile users. And he can definitely destroy Lucina in, he can match her up in the bot scene. He's got the DK dash attack, which can be a problem. But once you get the gist of things and you figure out that most of Banjo's moves just don't work with each other sometimes, and he doesn't do that much damage. Like Banjo, compared to most of the DLC, he definitely feels like base roster character. In fact, the 64 roster character. But then all the 64 roster characters here in this game, they all have crazy buttons and damage. So yeah, like Banjo is definitely a once you figure out that zoning puzzle, or if they don't know any of the uh, uh, egg tech with the neutral B, they do it consistently. They don't know how to do that. Then it's something that's pretty easy to figure out, and also exploitable up B. You could say, oh, what about their side B? If they somehow land this on you, you can punish. Or if they land on to the side of the stage and don't grab it, you can also just start an edge guard situation there. And now Falco and Pit. I remember the best Pit Dark Pit player here, Gabby, saying that Lucina wins or something like that. I said it's even. Let me see. I don't have it in a DM. I think it was just in a Twitter mention, and that was a while back, so I don't think I can find it again. No, I cannot find it again. I apologize. No, wait. I found it. He says he's optimistic on the MU. You know what? And look, it's his MU page. He says that Lucina is even. He also has a chart that says hard even, like dead ass even. So I'm guessing this even kind of goes into the favors of Dark Pit and Pit. Let me read what he said. I'll take it. I'm optimistic about that MU, pero Lucina can edgeguard Pit Dark pretty well, and it can get pretty annoying. Not an uncomfortable MU though, closer to easy than hard. So now I have the context of this hard and even. It's an even that you don't have to be like, you know, it's that it's gonna be pretty hard because he has a hard even here, and I'm assuming that's one that it's even, but he has to work harder. And for my take is that edge guarding moment. I've said this too many times. You can take a shot every time I do it. Maybe don't do that. You'll destroy your liver. With Dark Pit and Pit, they can combo Lucina. I think Dark Pit is better in that matchup because the Lucina can just save their jump and be at a point where Pit cannot just angle their arrow. So you want that more consistent arrow damage. And if the Lucina's getting a bit too aerial friendly, that side B puts her at a more uncomfortable position, really. Or if they miss the ledge. But I feel like this could maybe go into even as the Dark Pit meta progresses. But it's gonna go nowhere into losing in the near future, I feel, or for the rest of the game, because Lucina can take care of the pits pretty well. The hitbox on the forwarder for the pits is pretty lackluster, to say the least. Like, their hitboxes are pretty small. So that's your main takeaway. Like, you can deal with it the same way you do with Wii Fit Trainer. But I feel like unless you're good at sniping the Lucina early, or if the Lucina is pretty jumpy, then Dark Pit's going to be better for this matchup. Now, as we progress, let's move even further down on the tier list. I mean, MU chart. Sorry, I read the SmashUltimateTierList.com and I got a little confused. Now, even. This is where we finally stop saying, this is like a puzzle, you gotta get through it and you win. No, this is characters with options that can screw Lucina, and you have to get around it. But it's not a get around that you win automatically, it's a get around that you have to be careful with it. It's not something that can detriment you, really. Like, maybe if you're too aggro friendly against Sephiroth, you could just get screwed over. But yeah, or maybe Rosalina, she gets too aggro friendly, then she could just go into slightly winning. But these are just evens, I'd say. Let's start with Marth. We're not gonna start with the end of the row just like I did with the other ones. We're gonna start with Marth here to get him out of the way. He has the same frame data, but not the same options. Now let me explain. The moves are the same, yes, but different hit boxes. Lucina's light, so Marth's Marthritis isn't that big of a deal here, and since Lucina has to play pretty space, so she can get the safety on her attacks. And if you like do a move right, that's that's spaced, and you didn't do it properly, Marth could get the tipper on you. But you have that consistent damage output. Like I think Marth will have a better damage output on you, but you'll have a better time killing Marth. And I think that's what makes it even. Like, and also I like semi clones. I'm not semi clones. I mean echoes. The only time I would say that the echo can beat the its counterpart is with Crom and Roy. Crom has the advantage, yeah, but then you get Crom off stage, and Roy can just let me counter, boop. So there's that. Now let's start with CSS. If the CSS has to play kind of she can do the Zaire trick, or if she's gonna play grounded, you can outmaneuver it. Just not outmove her, but you can outmaneuver the moves. And some of her moves just don't work well. So if she gets a side beat that doesn't kill you, just sends you up a bit, you can definitely escape her combos. She has the floatiness to be able to punish the down B of Zerzut Samus when she's no longer invincible. Yeah. She can also do some of that side B tether trick if you want, or if she's forced to do up B, you can just counter it. But since it goes kind of slow, you can just dare if you want, or try to two-frame it. Like, and Lucina has fast options. Like, she has fast options. I think up air at its best is a -5 or -6. I was messing with it in training mode. And you can definitely get a desperate up B out of the ZSS. And, they're just going to get hit by it. If you manage to make them land on the platform you want for up smash, that's perfect. If they're forced to land on the ground, you can just F smash them. So I think that's my reasoning, because Fair isn't going to be really that good. The best she's got is Nair into down B. But then that's basically the Zerzut Samus bread and butter that everyone should know. Like, it looks impressive at first, but apparently I was told it's not the greatest thing ever. And I guess I have to agree if it's basically like a CSS requirement to do. So yeah, I guess I'll just put her in even there. And now for Wario, he has the X factor. Yeah, we all know that. Waft. But he only has one waft. He gets one every minute and 30 seconds. Now here's the other thing. If you play this matchup defensively, and you waste 2 more minutes after that, he's not gonna get another waft in time. Like, you definitely want to hit Wario at the front. Just watch out for his dash attack. But once you learn how to deal with dash attack and you hit Wario at the front, he can't do much to you. Like, I say at the front because back air can be pretty deadly for Lucina. And if he's going to come dare you, you can just do up tilt. He's going to come down with Nair. You can run away. He's going to come down with Fair as a combo. It's up to the tech option you have to do unless it's true. And you can just make it that he has to use Waft as a recovery if you're playing good. But the thing is, unless he gets you to a combo to use Waft, he's not going to be able to use Waft. He has the kill options, aka dash attack, because I don't see much of them landing F smash or using it whatsoever. Down smash, if you get hit by Wario down smash, this isn't even an MU chart opinion that you can have. You got outplayed, and you have to accept that. Then there's up smash, but you realize it's like Luigi's, Dr. Mario's, and Mario's. And if you know how to deal with those, you can learn how to deal with that one. What about up tilt? You can outrange up tilt. You outrange Wario. He has, in his kill moves, he's only going to use like one of them. Yeah, because if up smash will be easily dealt with unless you're kind of playing a bit too aggro. And waft, maybe with triple SDI you could start escaping those up tilt combos, and he's gonna have to do something to get it raw. But what about the side B with the bike? You can hit him out of the bike. You can keep the bike off stage, force him to use jump. That up B ain't going nowhere. Oh, and then he's gonna be forced to use waft, and then he threw away his X factor. But definitely don't count Wario out because he can just X factor you. He can combo you. Excuse me. And up air can be pretty deadly. And now as we progress, yeah, we're gonna go to someone who just outranges you, but you can kind of Mr. Potential here, Shulk. He's got more range, but it's not like a crazy Sephiroth range where he just keeps you out forever. He doesn't have a projectile either, so if you have the advantage, he's gonna have to approach. Oh, he's using speed. If he isn't grabbing you, you cannot be it. If he's gonna do shield, you can just not attack him or just set up a juggle situation once he gets out of shield. He's in Smash Art. Ooh, just camp him out. He's in Buster Art. Like with Buster and Smash Art, you can probably just take a hit, bait out a hit, and just get a counter damage. Like maybe screw him over. Like, if you counter a smash move on ledge, if he's coming from ledge, if his back is facing the ledge and you just happen to be in front of him, he can die. And Buster, maybe don't counter it if he gets too far away for the hit you do. But his frame data is not that great, so you can just punish it and get some good hits. Finally, Lucina doing decent damage in the meta. Oh, but it's only good Shulk. Oh, man. And then there's jump. I don't think there's much you can do about the jump camping. But if you can predict where he lands, you can just set up something. But speed is like the best one, but there's things you can do with it. I think you could do the up, like I mentioned. But I wouldn't. I need to check the frame data on that because it happened to me once. And it could have been forward air. And he's got setups with down tilt. It can keep you out. The down smash is bad. Don't get hit by it. Backslash. Oh boy, that's just a free counter. Up air slash. I called it up slash. Edge guardable. He's also edge guardable. You can trade with him, counter him, hit him from the top, do whatever. Eligem, a niche micro-internet celebrity of the Smash Ultimate community on Twitter of the speaking regions. He did a video about Shulk Sucks. Maybe I might link that down below. And Shulk's just been Mr. Potential. Like, if a character that hard to play is still gonna be Mr. Potential, then why is he still seen as, like, a top 10 meta threat? If, like, all the Shulk mains that use him either love Shulk or love Xenoblade. Because I don't see many people using Shulk. In fact, Shulk might get down to the numbers of me Sword Fighter people playing him, which could be sad. Wolf. Let's go to Wolf now. Wolf Blaster can be a pain. Then he's got his aerial combo starters with fair and up air. His nair is also a problem. Then he's got dash attack. Down throw dash attack. Like, Wolf is definitely a rough even. But it's definitely an even that you can do. It's an even that you're going to be able to get. But you kind of have to work for it. Because he's not going to do something crazy. He doesn't have an X factor. He's just like you. Fundy's moment. And also I think Wolf is the best designed character in the game, but that can be another topic. But Wolf definitely has all the options to deal with you, but you also have all the options to deal with him. You can edge guard him. Oh, he's gonna side B to the stage. Oh, you can hit him out of it or just two frame it. Oh, he's coming at me with some aerials. Maybe just punish it with down tilt and force a tech situation or F tilt. But like, I don't want to say it's a hard even because they're definitely evens you have to work a little bit harder for. But it's like an even where if either of you start getting careless, it's an easy win for the other one. Now Terry, finally we're getting into an FGC that didn't lose, but Terry, definite threat for Lucina. I feel in certain aspects. First off, crack shoot. Like Terry's got plenty of burst options. If you aren't ready for burst options, this matchup's gonna feel impossible. He's got the down tilt stuff with burn knuckle. Like you definitely need to get some damage on him. You can deal with the power wave pretty easily, but you're gonna have a hard time dealing with something like Nair into down B. You can escape with SDI. I think it has to be SDI up or so. But Terry's can find ways to like make their moves lagless. So the most you got is the edge guard state. And be careful too, those hitboxes can be pretty dangerous from where they send. Especially crack shoot. Like crack shoot's pretty underrated. F tilt can set up shenanigans with all that, like tech chasing. Definitely Terry's like one of those events that's really hard, but you definitely have the tools. You have your range and you have your sword. You have the edge guarding. Yeah, you have the the leg up on edge guarding, but his hitboxes can be dangerous. So be prepared to tech and not tech jump. So you need to press that tech button early. But yeah, Terry is can be a threat, but you definitely can outmaneuver Terry in certain aspects. And now Palutena. Like anyone will say against Palu, you need to play grounded. Lucina definitely has options to play grounded. And see, she can tech chase Palu. She can keep Palu in the air since Palu's pretty light and a bit floaty on sometimes. She can also just nair if Palu does the teleport. Yeah, she can run under the specials, the special move auto reticle, and if you see the Palutena doing explosive flame, you can just get out. And yeah, like unless Palu's gonna find a way to hit you with that background ledge or up smash or any of the sort of smash attacks, you're gonna be fine. Oh, and F tilt too. And F tilt, you can parry it and punish it pretty easily. Definitely a character you want to send them up, but you don't want to go up there yourself. Oh, and up tilt, yeah. That's gonna be the pretty good anti-air if you try to like do a nair setup to F smash, so be wary with that. Another one of those hard evens. And now for Rosalina, it's even until she loses Luma. Once she loses Luma, Rosalina becomes a you should win moment. You won't be outranging her, duh, but you can out hitbox her like you can with Yoshi. And she's also pretty edge guardable if you know your angles right, but if you don't, then good luck with that. But Rosalina, she can be a threat in the right player's hands, but she's not gonna be too much of a threat you can't handle. Like it's a threat you can find a way to deal with. And now for me, Brawler, it's like dealing with Fox and Mario, except that me, Brawler, can kill earlier than the both of them. And the fact he can switch up his specials can kind of give him a little bit of an edge here. You definitely want to play grounded just like Palu. But you can also just out keep him out. And his recovery moves aren't that great. So just like with the slightly wins, you have the edge guarding up there, and you can just screw up the Mii Brawler in certain aspects too. But the Mii Brawler can be a little bit hard to deal with simply because most people don't gravitate towards Mii Brawler, they gravitate towards Mario or Fox. And that's just something That's already going to be hard. Lack of people to practice with. But if you find a Mii brawler to practice with, definitely make the best use of that practice. Even if you only get 30 minutes, do the best you can. Like, the practice in Smash Ultimate is not determined by how many hours you do. Like, this can go for anything. It's determined of how you use your time. And then we go to Mega Man. Mega Man, the super fighting robot. Mega Man. But the thing with Mega Man, right? He's got projectiles to keep you out. Leaf Shield can be a pain. And that's basically it. Like, his projectiles are a bit less of a puzzle, a bit more of a wall to get over. And it's definitely, like, you just have to outbox him because his thing is more grab. Because his jab, pellet. F tilt, pellet. Down tilt, it's a sliding tilt. So he's going to set you up with that. Oh, and up tilt, yeah, that's a kill move, basically. It's a Shoryuken. So, like, you know, look out for that. You can definitely outrange Mega Man. But he's also got moves that are kind of crazy. Like, Mega Man's a crazy character. He just doesn't have anyone that can push him that far yet. But Mega Man can pose, like, a bracket threat to you. But you must know how to deal with those projectiles first. Because those projectiles will make your life hell. I think that's what makes it even. And then the fact that he can two-frame you with a well-timed side smash. Yeah. Like, his side smash is a projectile that goes kind of far. I think it does. And he can also just do it in regular neutral. Set you up for some tech situations. That dash attack can be pretty deadly for setups. So he's definitely a character that, unless you snuff out the setups, you will have an easier time with it. And now let's go to Lucas. Lucas is, I want to say, like Mega Man, kind of oppressive to get in. But the thing with Lucas, yeah, he can also do some pretty nasty grab combos on you. He's gonna hit you more with up smash than Ness will. And it's gonna be a lot more painful. Because Ness doesn't have that much range. But yeah, screw the Ness yo-yo on ledge. And then there's the fact he can probably just nair you on the ledge while you're trying to recover and probably force a tech situation. He's also got just setups. He's got setups like Mega Man. And if you get careless, he can just hit you with PK Freeze. That's not going to be fun. His Snake can make things a bit hard. Like, Lucas is definitely a character. Like, he's got more range than Ness in certain areas, like his back air. In a horizontal perspective, it's the same range, but then you remember he can hit this through the top and the bottom. So it's like a reverse Pyra back air, basically. Going from top to bottom instead of bottom to top. So he's got coverage right there. And his single hit up air can definitely force some pressure. Like, Ness's multi-hit up air is probably better in the long run. But Lucas, he doesn't run the risk of you just being able to go onto the platform and force it and be, shielding and stuff. And Lucas, he just gets a bit more setups. Like, he's a setup character. And his down B hitbox is in front of him. So he can just do more stuff with it than Ness can. Like, Ness has setups with Magnet, yeah, but what I mean is that he can, Lucas can do tech chases from far away, is what I'd like to say. And Lucas mains, they're kind of pushing the meta now with the whole Snake thing. So Lucas will go rising up in the meta. So I'm definitely a believer that this is just going to be an even matchup. DK, I mentioned it before that Chunky Kong says that Donkey Kong is an even matchup for Lucina. I say it's because of my belief is that it's because of the range. The fact DK gets more damage to Lucina if he hits, yeah? Keyword, he hits. Because if DK were a bit harder to hit, then this could be a slightly losing matchup for Lucina. But the thing is, yeah, on ledge, you're gonna have to find a way to edge guard him. You're gonna have to be quick about it because if you drop down and you miss your timing for counter, oh, you get hit. If they go up, oh, you let them get back to stage. So he's definitely a character where you have to know your 50-50s and you have to learn to finesse your advantage state. And then you will have a much more easier time. But then you gotta remember, DK will outrange you. You get careless with DK. You can also throw out the monkey punch. Many people say this is a good move, but in Puerto Rico, everyone just looks at DK like trash. So like, you know, DK good, DK good. For Samus and Dark Samus, definitely the puzzle again. But the difference between them and some of the other zoners in the upper areas where Lucina wins is that these guys have frame data. Forward air can set up the four things. That Nair is stupidly good at tech chasing and just keeping you out. Back air kills. They got a charge shot move. And ledge trapping against them. Try getting up against them. You're gonna lose. That's all I need to say. But then again, you got your own fast frame data. It's up to you to do the best use of it. Like, you can definitely bait out some up B shenanigans and then just hit them for it. Like, this is an even matchup that gets easier with the more zoning you do, or even defensive play. But if you're more aggro, this is definitely going to be like a matchup that you'll think is slightly losing or just a hard even. But they're pretty doable. Now for Cloud Strife. Cloud, back air, okay, that's a threat. But if you're getting hit by someone spamming back airs, don't worry, it's not Smash 4 Cloud. You can deal with this. They're spamming forward air. You can also deal with it. Like, with Cloud, you can just deal with any spamming they may throw at you. And Cloud is a bit like Lucina, that he's got the excuse me, the 1-2 hit combos, and is very advantage state heavy, string focused. But the difference between them is that Cloud has just more damage percentage per hit, and he's got a projectile that can help him with zoning, and he can keep our characters without projectiles like Lucina out. And he's also got his own little X factor, like which is limit. So I would say Cloud is like what Lucina was at the beginning of Ultimate. Fundy sword character that, that didn't have much combos, but had a huge presence. And as back to Lucina, yeah, she has a similar range as Cloud's range is a little bit nerfed, especially with Nair. And up air isn't the same juggling tool as it was before, but he can definitely kill with it at the top, yeah. And he's also got like more kill options than Lucina in general. But the thing is, yeah, you can outmaneuver him. Okay, I've been saying this a little bit too much, but he's got certain blind spots to him. If he's gonna do fair, right, you can like run behind him if you can, yeah. Now excuse me for a second. There's a cat here that's touching something that they're not supposed to. But the thing with Cloud, yeah. What about back air? You can get under back air. Like, he doesn't have much aerials that are like a bubble. Like, let's say he does up air. His sides are still exposed. Back air, his top and bottom are exposed. Like, back air is like a bit of a line, too. It's a thin one, but you should be able to hit it. And then for fair, that's the one bubble. Nair's also a bubble, but it's a really small one, so you could outrange him easily. Then there, it can be a decent landing option, but it can get pretty predictable. Like, Cloud is just, he does have startup, and Lucina can take advantage of that. He's got a recovery that's edge guardable. Even limit to some degree, like if you time it correctly, or just go off stage and counter. Like, she has options, but the problem is that you have to do something with your advantage state, or Cloud can just get the better of you with more damage and having an X factor. But this is definitely an even matchup. This is not a losing matchup whatsoever. It is even. Now, for Byleth, I think this is also even. Because Byleth has more range. That's definitely the biggest contributing factor here. But the thing with Byleth, she's got lesser frame data, and she's also got more range too. But the thing is, she can just outrange you, also just outkill you in certain ways too. I just looked up the Spargo Cloud MU chart while I was explaining that. Spargo says that Cloud wins against Lucina. And you know, with what I explained, I might as well agree with that. I have to change it at some point. But the thing with Byleth, yeah? That's definitely even. Like, with Cloud, the reason I say it's even is because it definitely hasn't been explored much. But then with Byleth, we can definitely see much more of this. That Byleth also has these blind spots that you can hit her with. She's also got some exploitability when it comes to landing certain attacks. Like, if they predict wrong your DI, you can escape that. You can definitely hit them out of there. Like, if you do a weak hit to just get them away from the ledge as you take away their jump, they might not even be able to reach the ledge. Their side V can be a bit of a problem, so can their aerials. But on the ground, you should have no problem. The most dangerous thing on the ground you should look out for is definitely dash attack. Because up tilt, there's ways to escape it. Side tilt, it's going to set up a tech chase. So that one, you just want to be patient. And that's just about it for Byleth, I'd say. Because her projectile doesn't really pose much of a threat. Neither does her up B if you know what you're doing. But what really does pose a threat is the ledge trapping. And you gotta remember the fact she can also shield break the opponent just like you can with Lucina. So, shield pressure, I think Byleth does it better than Lucina in this matchup. Simply because of more range. And she can get you into a panic down smash and boom, you're dead at 30, I'd say. With a charged F smash. Well, maybe if you have rage. But still, the idea is you're dying early. And the Spargo thing has been bothering me. You know, I'll put him in slight losing. That's to our friend Sora here. And then, now let's go to Bayonetta. Bayonetta. I also think this is kind of even. Thanks to the new SDI that Gamer discovered, Lucina can just escape certain moves much more easily, and along with the up B frame 1 escape, we can also just I guess Lucina can also just put Bayo in a much more dangerous situation or more advantageous situation for Lucina. Depends on how you look at it. But as the SDI meta with the Flick SDI, people get better with it. I feel like Lucina's just going to have a way better time than Bayo, and she's going to be forcing Bayo to play the Lucina game too. The 1-2 hit, the 1-2 hit, play 1-2 hit. And then there's Pac-Man. I could also put this in slight losing. But I think even is a better contender because Lucina can deal with the projectiles just fine. They're kind of slow. Oh, but what about the Galaga thing that goes wee? If you master how to grab Pac-Man projectiles, especially with Lucina, this could open up a whole lot of gate flows and combos. So, you know, that's something to take into account when doing so. And then for his hydrant, yeah, you can just jab it or do something with it. But you can also just do a quick little attack and escape it. Like, I don't think Pac-Man's gonna be really trying to hit you that much with it when he's just trying to get his more setup friendly fruits. Here's a funny anecdote. One time I was in bracket, yeah, and I answered my phone during a match, game 4, the deciding game against some dude, and he was playing Pac-Man. And that's the last time I ever played against Pac-Man in bracket. But you definitely can do it, despite what I did. Maybe that could be just personal bias, because Pac-Man's got crazy combos. He's got a crazy recovery too. I'm not gonna say counter this in this matchup because he's got armor, and it's also a pretty quick recovery. So it's just not going to, be a friendly thing. What you want, right, is to just find ways to not get hit by his projectiles or get outzoned by him. But boxing with Pac-Man is definitely the worst trial or tribulation you got to do as Lucina, because not only is he a zoner, but he's also got some of the best boxing. Makes no sense. Like, you could play Pac-Man as a rushdown character, and you'd get the same result probably, even if you were playing him with his full kit. So, like, it's gonna be a pain, but Pac-Man's round. He's round. I think Pac-Man's hurtbox is a bit bigger than some people say, because he's a bit wider. So you could definitely get away with some hits here and there. And now, oh boy, onto Sephiroth. Let me tell you, getting in against him sucks. It definitely sucks. Sucks so hard. I could put this in slightly losing too. But, like, he's also got the projectiles. That side B can be lagless sometimes. That F tilt can be pretty safe most of the time. But then you remember, once you get in, you can outbox him. And all you gotta do is not get predictable. Because if he's hitting you with a lot of fairs, then he's definitely the Sephiroth doing something well against you. If he isn't, then that's your way to go. And Sephiroth is big. Like, he's tall. So go crazy with the edge guard if you can. And then there's the whole, the counter thing. Don't get too predictable off stage. You can also just predict it off stage. If he's going to do the counter, you can also just counter back on off stage, yeah? But if you're on stage, you can just roll behind him and do another move if you want. Like, do something that does more damage, I'd say. Or jump over him if you have the time, if you want. But definitely, or, you know what? Hit him when the counter activation hitbox is over. And you got yourself a free hit or, a free setup. Like, the biggest problem here is entering, approaching. It's so frustrating to approach Sephiroth. It really is. And he's also got way more range. And he can two-frame you much easily with his down air. And then when he gets wing, it becomes a slightly losing for free. But it's definitely even, because Lucina can kill him under 80. You just gotta get the setup. And or edge guard him so he can't reach the stage. But that's definitely what you gotta do. And now, speaking of losing, we're gonna go slightly losing. We already did Cloud. As I was explaining, I told myself, man, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Oh boy. But, alright. Slightly losing. Let's go, baby. Let's go. We're almost done. First off, let's do Cloud again. Go back to the timestamp in the video where I talked about Cloud. And just take everything I said about him being even and put it into the slightly losing. Thumbs up. You got it. Sora. Sora, he's floaty. So you think, I gotta play against him in the air. You would be wrong. You gotta anti-air him. But the thing is, if Sora gets a hit on you, you're taking a lot of damage. Like the Sora meta is advancing every day. Oh, but Sora's the worst character in Fighter Pass 2. No, it's Sephiroth, dummy. Like, let's see which Fighter Pass 2 characters Lucina loses to. Steve, number 1. 2, Pyramithra. 3, Kazuya. That's 3. That's 3. Sora, 4. And then who does he go even with? 2 of them. Sephiroth and Byleth. And which one does better against Lucina? Byleth. No, wait, Byleth's not Fighter Pass 2. Oh my god, who is the other Fighter Pass 2 character? I forget. Oh my god. I can't believe it. I forgot who the other Fighter Pass 2 character is. Let's see, we got Sora, Steve, Aegis, Kazuya, Sephiroth. Oh, I feel stupid. It's Min. But yeah, we got like five of the 6 Fighter Pass 2 characters aren't slightly losing for Lucina, in my opinion. And I'll get to that. And even then, even without my opinion, most people agree Sephiroth is the worst Fighter Pass 2 character. So let's explain Sora finally. The combos, like I said, he also has projectiles to camp out Lucina. Yeah. And he can also freeze you if you're going in too close. And he's just got better kill power too. And he can go to air with you. And just keep you there. Like, he can just juggle Lucina easily. Like, this is not a fun matchup. You're getting 24%. He's getting probably 48%. He's getting twice the damage. And he's going to do a better job of camping you out. It's going to be easier to hit him if he's just moving around with the jumps. But, like, a Sora with probably mastered movement can probably make it hard for you to catch up. But even then, you're still going to have an easy time catching up. Now let's go to Rob. You might think I might say something about Puzzle, Zoner. No, Rob's just oppressive, and he's got what Lil Mac tilts should be. The best thing about Rob is that you can actually combo him to some degree, aka do more than just 2 hits. You get a 3rd hit in here, hooray! Hooray! But that's it, and with Rob, it's pretty easy to just get these kills with Rob, Nair, Gyro, Side B, and he's also got the down air that stays on forever. He can approach with back air. You know, we all know that Zombie. Everyone forgot about a Kikimori. I think that's what their name was. A Cloud back air from Smash 4. But Rob's just he's also like he's a win button like Steve, but unlike Steve, Rob's actually simple to play. So and he's the most solved character in the game. So the Rob mains just have more on you basically. Like there's no way this can be an even matchup. First, you gotta deal with the zoning that's pretty oppressive. You're gonna take some damage unless you're playing like God. And then when it comes to the neutral, you have to outbox him somehow, when you got Rob down to... Sorry, this was a little bit of a rant, but I really hate how lazy Rob was designed in Ultimate. They just took what he was in Smash 4 and Brawl and just said, let's speed him up and not change anything. But now then, let's go to Pyramithra. Mithra makes this a bit of a hell. It's like Cloud, but worse. But what makes this slightly doable is the recovery and the fact that when she has to switch to Pyra, you're basically getting like to fight another Ike or another Byleth in a certain way. So, but you're in more danger of getting killed a lot more easily. But the thing with Pyra, right? She can actually be punished in certain places, even though sometimes she has no lag in some moves. It's crazy. And the Pyra, I'd say, is a little bit more easier to edgeguard than Mithra, because the dare's easier. The down tilt's easier to hit. You can go down, and just interrupt the up B. It's got no armor. Whereas Mithra, she's got this giant hitbox, but even then you can still do down tilt. Like, what makes this matchup remotely doable is the fact you can edge guard. And also that Lucina up B tends to work against Mithra in some moves, and you get her away from you, but she's gonna outpace you. She's gonna out tempo you. You know what? You could put this in losing if you want, but I believe it's only slightly losing because it's a loss. But if you work hard enough, right, to make sure they don't get in, like you keep that center stage, it's only a slightly losing. And I want to be optimistic about that, because if you get pessimistic about your character, you're not gonna get anywhere. You gotta believe. And then we go to Pikachu. Boy, do I hate. Okay, Thunderjolt isn't that bad to deal with, in my experience. But the problem is when he gets you in the combo, and even then, you have to play the read game against Pikachu. You want to bait out that air dodge, so he can be kept away from you. He's pretty small, so his stubby range isn't gonna reach you that far unless you go at a further distance of the stage where you can start using Thunderjolt. Like if you keep a certain distance, it can be pretty easy to keep him out. But if he's able to use Thunderjolt, the neutral B, I think it's what it's called. I think it can be pretty rough, especially if the Pikachu knows their combos. If the Pikachu knows their combos, it will be pretty rough. And I think the combos themselves just make this matchup pretty hell. Your saving grace is the fact that Pikachu's stubby and that he's light. That's about it. Because he can get under some moves, I think he can. And he's got more range than you in his side smash, because while Lucina has her hand up going to hit you, if you both do the side smash at the same time, Pikachu's already getting his out and interrupting you. But then again, triple SDI, flick SDI, dash walk, these things might be not dash walk. Yeah, it is dash walk. Control flick could make this matchup doable, but it's still gonna be a slightly losing matchup. Basically, it's gonna get better to deal with, but it's not gonna be even anytime soon. It's still gonna be losing. And then we have Inkling. Some people say Lucina Inkling is losing. I don't think so, because you can just down tilt them if they approach. Down B is gonna be pretty hard to challenge, yeah, because you can't. Honestly, and then there's their aerials that are pretty good. If you somehow get a chance to up B, just do it, because that's your frame escape. Edge guarding them is gonna be hard, but even then, they just don't have the craziness they used to in the early meta, because you can just shield the roller. That's their one kill move, unless they like get a back air or fair on you on ledge. But then that's an aerial that's coming, so like you can be prepared for that. Up air's a multi-hit, that hurts. But I think this matchup is one of the more doable losing matchups, so that's why I put it in slightly losing. But you could honestly say it's losing if you want. Inkling just has options, but you have options too. The thing is, Inkling has combos, you don't. So this matchup, you gotta play a little bit grounded. And if you get them spamming roller while you're grounded, or dash attack, that's kind of like your go-to for damage. And now let's go to Kazuya, someone you need to not try to challenge on the ground. Because, like, not only is Kazuya a zero death machine, I don't need to explain this. He's also got some moves that just lift his feet off the ground, so your down tilt just doesn't hit. Like, this matchup's already pretty rough for Roy. Kron can do something, but then there's the up B. So you can imagine how it is for Lucina and Marth. Oh, I know MKLeo beat Riddles' Kazuya with Marth, but that's the exception of one time and not the rule. Like, this is definitely hard. Lucina has no projectile to keep him out or start damage with. Like, Cloud has keep away options. Lucina has them too, but Cloud can also just, I don't know, if the Kazuya is doing a move that isn't the reflector, Cloud can just hit him with the neutral B and maybe limit break neutral B. Basically make it super lame. It's crazy how Cloud can just get away with in this matchup and it's still even. And Lucina, she has to get close. The key word is that she has to get close. It's not fair. It's not fun. Like, obviously, it's Kazuya. You need to play keep away. Out of anything that says keep it with the 50-50, this is the character you want to finesse your advantage state with. Also, I'd say your defensive game. Because Kazuya, once he's got Rage Drive, he's doing 1.1 more damage, plus the Rage, so, don't get hit. That's all you can say for Kazuya, so, you gotta be lucky in your 50-50s, or, know when your opponent is gonna do the thing that gets some options. Like, do the options that get you comboed less. They're still gonna eat heavy combos. And Kazuya also has armor and intangibility in most moves, so it's like, what were they thinking? But yeah, this matchup is rough. Rough. Very, very rough. Nair is gonna be your best friend for keep away, and that's all you can basically do, keep away, because if you accidentally mess up with your advantage state, oop, looks like you're taking damage, ooh, and a lot of it, because one move of Kazuya, you're taking like 22%, it's crazy. I think an uncharged F smash with a tip at their sweet spot, I think that's like 29 or 27, or it was 27.9. Something crazy, but obviously you shouldn't be getting hit by Kazuya F smash at all because you could die. But it's like an example. I should look up how much electric does at some point. Like, honestly, if you have a guy who can play a decent Kazuya, practice with them and learn how to outmaneuver the Kazuya, because that's what you want to do. And then there is Diddy Kong. Just like with many other sorties, Diddy Kong will just screw you over, but his projectiles aren't the best to be keeping you out. Sure, he's got the peanut to banana, but if he's gonna do peanut to banana, just not get hit by the peanut. Or you could make sure you only get hit by the peanut and not the banana. Because Diddy Kong can just do some dash attack to up air and not fair. And then into side B, I think it was. But he's also pretty edge guardable. I've been saying this a lot, pretty edge guardable. Take a shot too every time I've said it. And not only that, he's also kind of easy to two-frame. If he's side beam to the stage, that's where F-tilt becomes your best friend. Like, F-tilt's kind of your best friend against Diddy Kong. And then there's the fact that you can use Diddy Kong's banana against him, which is your saving grace here. I shouldn't say saving grace, but more like your hallelujah to be able to hit him where it hurts. You could just do banana free F smash, or get a shield break too. Because you're going to have banana. He might shield to cover it, and, you have a shield breaker right there. Like, maybe you could do Z-drop banana into neutral B, and that could break, maybe. Because shield breaker doesn't break the shield. It takes it to a very low point, so you want to get a hit in first. And honestly, you could just pressure his shield a lot with the banana. But I still think this is still kind of losing. The reason I say it's just like a slight losing is because you have some saving graces there that don't make this matchup terrible. And now we go to Peach and Daisy. Honestly, just the same character. But the Mario the princess duo. Well, there's Rosalina, so I'll just say Peach. Peach, she's the original. She's one of the original Zero to Death machines. The other one being Luigi. And original, I mean, yes, the ultimate early meta. But the thing with Peach, yeah, she's got Turnip to keep you out. But then you realize that you have to play against Peach the way your opponent is playing Peach. If she likes to punish jumps, if that Peach likes to punish jumps, then play on the ground. They won't be able to do much because if they're just looking for you to jump, then that's going to be their bad habit, their downfall. Like, this matchup literally depends on how your opponent is playing Peach. And if you figure that out, then this matchup doesn't become, oh, if she hit me, I'm dead. Because you can also DI out and also SDI. Like, but the Peaches are getting better at their combos, so this might not be the case anymore. But you can definitely keep Peach out. And she's floaty, so there's some I want to say juggle and then a bull. I'm not sure if that's a word, but yeah, juggleable. And but you might say, oh, but what if they do Toad? Toad does fits damage on spores. Well, that's your key pick, man. Just do it. And if she and that fair she's mashing, yeah, it's gonna be safe. But maybe you can parry it into a dash attack. They're pretty edge guardable. Up B's a pain to edge guard though. So like, try to snuff out when they're floating. Try to bait an attack out of them. Definitely Nair's your best friend here. Thanks to their floatiness and their lightweight, kind of sends them away a lot. But here's one character just like Cloud that's also kind of losing for our friend Lucina. It's Corrin. Similar hairstyle to the tiara and then the hair in the middle. Simple stuff. Corrin's just Lucina, but with combos, I'd say. Because what makes Corrin beat Steve and Kazuya to a certain degree, and also maybe do something at Sonic, is Pin and her advantage state. Like, her advantage state combos are crazy. Like, when I say advantage state, is like how can you read your opponent, follow their DI, all that stuff, But Corrin just has combos there, and so to along better complement that type. And that up air, forward air just sends everything up. Yeah? And up air can sometimes kill. And then there's the fact that they got an up B that's kind of hard to hit sometimes. And they got Pin. If that Corrin knows their timing, Lucina's just dead on the ledge. It with Pin. Thanks to Pin, it's crazy. If they don't, they can just dare you and then try to do the insta pin again. It's just it's not fun for Lucina. Like, you're gonna get out damaged here. Not out tempoed, because Lucina can definitely match the tempo of Corrin, because Corrin's kind of slow and she's got some slower attacks too. But you will get out damaged, the keyword out damage, and she's got a projectile too, that if she stuns you, if she can get another attack out of it. Maybe do the short one into, read where your DI is, and then angle the F smash that way. That's also another thing, like more range in general on the ground, I'd say. Down tilt you beat them in, but their down tilt doesn't set for tech chases, it sets for more combos. Up tilt you have more range, but theirs key is a lower knockback, so it kind of just sets up for more up air combos. The up airs are kind of similar, but theirs is a little bit faster. Their back air can be used as a recovery move and a kill move in certain aspects. Yours is just a kill move. But Lucina's back air turns them around, so, if your opponent somehow just starts rushing at you and you're still in the air, you can react to that. Corrin, maybe just pin back. Like, Corrin's just probably a better Lucina in some aspects, but their place in the meta is also kind of outpaced by most. Like, the Corrin meta, definitely I can see it coming, but Lucina I think it still might be better in the long run. Lucina can out tempo Corrin, but she can't out damage Corrin. I say slightly losing because some things here just kind of give Corrin the edge in the matchup, especially the aerials. Like, Nair is a better combo starter. Like, Lucina's Nair is perfect for like when you do Nair 1, but if you don't land the Nair 1, and sometimes Lucina's Nair just sends them up and screws over, And then Pokemon Trainer. I'm just gonna do this one quick because my opinions on Ivysaur and Squirtle are kind of the same. They're both slightly losing, but Charizard is I'd say even, maybe a bit more Charizard favored because of the kill power he has on his Fire Tail attacks. Like with sorry, with Squirtle, he's gonna outdamage you. He is just a nightmare. I sincerely think, were it not for Squirtle's lack of kill power, it'd just be an easy losing matchup for Lucina, but he's got no kill power. That's where Ivysaur comes in to try and kill you. But Ivysaur, you could say, oh, but he's a lot more doable. I don't think he is, because that Ivy's pretty good. The grab game too, and if you do your DI a bit wrong and he reads it, boom, your up B. I mean, your up B can't do much, and he's also gonna hit his up B, so it's not gonna be fun. And then after him, or I mean her, the Pokemon trainer, and the other Pokemon, there's Roy. Like I said with Crumb, what gives Roy the advantage is that Lucina has no projectile, so there's nothing really keeping Roy out aside from his approaches, and Lucina can just be easily hit by the base. Lucina can definitely do it, but she's gonna get out tempoed, out damaged. But then you remember Roy, Crom, they're kind of glass cannons. Well, Crom's a bit more glass than Roy, but you just gotta take advantage of that. Like, you take away Roy's jump, that boy ain't reaching anywhere with that up B. Like, Roy's up B, the key thing between it and Crom is that Roy's up B is actually usable, whereas Crom's kinda isn't as a recovery, you know? Like, Crom's up B is just better for like on stage shenanigans, dealing 26%, whereas Roy's is just better off stage. But then again, with Roy, yeah, you can also match him in certain moves like down tilt, force him to do the tech chasing too, or you could even jab lock him if you wanted to, with jab, and then do your things. But still, due to Roy's speed and kill power, it just makes it a slightly losing. Now for King Dedede, I saw this in Leon's MU chart of 2022. For King Dedede, I just think it's because of his range and his moves as a whole. Like Gordo, yeah, kind of bad because Lucina can just jab it away. I remember where jabs had actual hitboxes in Smash 4. I would just jab it with Ike. It was awesome. Now I can't do that in Ultimate. And then for Lucina against King Dedede, he can match her in the air, and his down tilt, yeah, is just like the DK and Banjo dash attack that gives him, some advantage over it. And then you remember, Lucina can't edge guard this guy very well unless counter. But he's also got armor, so if you do it at a wrong position, he could escape or bury you himself if you do it on the ground in certain aspects. And like, it's just really not that fun when you figure out how to deal with this super heavy. He's also got just more range too. A jab that pulls you in, an F smash with shockwave. So if he sees you coming, he can just spam that, and you're still gonna get hit because of the shockwave. And is up air to kind of a pain. It's a drag down, and it just screws Lucina over a bit. And he's also gonna out damage her, but he can't out tempo her. He's also very slow. That's your key moment, slow. But he's also heavy. Like, out of all the heavies that aren't, Kazuya, I think this is the one that does the best against Lucina. And now for Steve. I saw Rockman put Lucina at plus 0.5. He also had a +1 and a +2. So I think when that 0.5 in that context is uneven, but you have the advantage. And I slightly agree, not in terms of Lucina favor, but in terms of Steve favor, because Steve just out damages Lucina. Sure, she can snuff out the blocks and the minecart with her aerials. Like, she's a really good in that aspect, but then you realize how much damage you gotta get with your opening versus compared to how much Steve can get with an opening, and it's just a simple combo for him, whereas for you, you gotta do your strings and stuff. And I think another saving grace here is your counter against minecart, but I think this mainly just works for Sephiroth because, he's got his is really powerful. Sure, Lucina also has it, but at the same time, you gotta be a little bit closer to the minecart too, which is a little bit scary. Sure, the counter's gonna be safe. You know what? I shouldn't be saying that about counter. But definitely also being kind of light also detriments her in this a little bit. And the fact that Steve can just snuff out your up B with down tilt and or blocks. Like, Lucina doesn't have any extra movement shenanigan to just get over the blocks. You get me? And now let's go on to what I believe are Lucina's worst matchups in the game. Let's do this really quick. Great. Okay. Game and Watch. Sure. Swordies do something against Game and Watch, but if the Game and Watches are starting to say that Ike actually loses to Game and Watch, then I guess that means, Lucina probably isn't doing that good either. Like, she wants to combo him for the damage, but Game & Watch also has an escape option just like her and probably gets more out of it because Lucina goes into freefall. He doesn't. And he can't use Chef against her. That's a good thing. And his down B is essentially just useless because she has no projectile. Also another good thing. But, unlike with like Wario, Mario, Dr. Mario, and Luigi, she can't just challenge that up smash. You shouldn't be challenging the up smash of either or any of those guys, really. But, if you're trying to poke him, you probably might not with your down tilt because of the invincibility with the helmet. Back air is going to be a pain. Lagless multi-hit back airs and just aerials like that are going to be a pain for Lucina off stage. And then there's the bomb. If Lucina somehow doesn't break the bomb, she's going to be taking a lot of damage. Bomb's kind of bad. Yeah. And then there's also the Nair. He can do that setup for another Nair, another up air. Like, you remember Lucina's light? And he can just kill you with F smash a lot quicker than most characters. And that F smash, down smash is just... And that down smash, F smash, is pretty much a confirmed combo, basically. Now let's go to Sonic. Because with Game & Watch, I feel that it's just gonna be losing, but it's a losing that could probably be somewhat doable depending on how the Game & Watch uses their options. Because we say Game & Watch is mashy this, mashy that, but like I said, if they're mashing something, you probably gotta be doing something wrong to like get hit by it. But he definitely has the tools to like oppress you. So a good Game & Watch is gonna make this hell. A bad Game & Watch is still gonna be making this hell because of Game & Watch, but it's gonna be like a hell, and you have a little bit of water with you. And now with Sonic, I don't want to explain because it's for me it's just pretty obvious. He can out damage you with just a single side B fair, and then just camp you out. Oh, you try to approach him. Oh, no, you're taking another aerial. He has strong moves for no reason for how fast he is. F Smash, screw F Smash, honestly, of Sonic. And, I want to say, oh, but what about him being edge guardable? Hey, let me tell you something. It can be a pain to edge guard Sonic. Let's say he does the side B into the up B or the jump. You might not make it there in time to do the counter. You could hit him while he's doing the up B, but it also goes fast. and then you remember, oh wait a minute, he can just do the up B early up and do some mix ups with it. Yeah, and like Sonic's got a lot of mix ups there that, and he just goes really fast, so you gotta catch him in the act really. And it's pretty risky to go against Sonic off stage because what if you try to hit him with side B, right? To do the side B fair or any nair, and you just somehow miss. He can up B, and then while he's doing the up B, just hit you with back air, and you're dead. So your only options realistically is the two frame, and then you're stuck dealing with side B spam. You have to either shield basically when it's coming. They say, oh, when he's charging it, you should approach, and that hasn't been going well for me. But that could also be just in its just some lack of proper knowledge for the Sonic MU. But because we only have one Sonic, and I live like 2 hours away from them, and I have not played. I mean, paid my Switch Online plan at the time of this recording, so I do not have one. And just honestly, the fact he does more damage, he's faster, he does more and more kills, more consistent kills, and he can edge guard you. That's scary, and it just makes it hell. And now for these three, they have all one thing in common. They're the whiff punish characters of the game, like the ninja type archetypes. So like Sheik and Greninja, obviously ninjas. Then they put Joker there as one of them because flashiness. With Sheik, how are you gonna get a hit in basically? Marth mains go Lucina because due to how bad it is for Marth, and so that's not even a good sign for Lucina because if Marth does pretty bad, Lucina you'll think, oh, she does a little bit better, but yeah, that's the key word. Only a little bit, and that's just the consistency and damage. What's going to say that, oh, she actually has a secret move that can actually hit Sheik? No, she does not. They have the same move set. She does not. You can probably outrange her sometimes, but not really. Counter is useless because she's fast. Like, oh, you want to counter up smash? No. You want to counter down smash? No, that's a multi-hit. And also, like, Sheik smash attacks aren't something you spam. They're something you set up, and the Sheik mains know this, so there's no way you're countering that. What about back air? Why do they need to count to make sure you get hit with back air when they can just hit you with needles instead? And hit you with Bouncing Fish or a nair off stage into another nair, and you're just dead. And Sheik just combos you. She can out tempo you too. Notice how I didn't say out damage because Sheik's damage is kind of weak. But the thing is, yeah, Sheik doesn't need it if she can always just be an advantage state against you, against someone like Lucina, who's a sword character who has startup in their moves. Like they say, oh, Diddy Kong beats sword characters. They forgot about Sheik. They just don't want to say Sheik because Sheik's harder than Diddy Kong. I believe Sheik just beats swords. And then we go to Joker. Definitely, out of all her losing matchups that I put here, like losing, not slight losing, this is definitely, out of these five, this is the most doable one. Simply because Joker doesn't really like go that down like Sheik and Greninja, because Sheik's attack somehow just put in a type of line, but Joker's still got crazy hurtbot shifting, so maybe that's not a plus for Lucina. But the thing is, right? He's got lag on some moves. But then you realize he's got the Arsene factor, and he can just and Joker. That's the one character in the game you're always gonna take chip damage from. Steve, you're always gonna take hit damage from. Kazuya, you're gonna get large amounts of damage. Pray if if they somehow messed up punishing you on the platform, which they can. To be fair, it's kind of hard sometimes. But Joker, yeah, Lucina doesn't have like anything to protect her from side B and neutral B when it comes to Arsene chip or regular Joker chip like other characters. But she also isn't fast enough to like prevent it. because Joker can probably just move back, or if he knows you're gonna dash attack or grab, he can do an option to beat it out. And he's also got his up air, which can lead to stuff, or to like up smash, down smash. And that's another thing. Arsene can spam his aerials and make it hard for you. Like what makes Joker more doable is that his leg attacks just do have that range, whereas his knife attacks just don't have that much lag. But his leg moves really do have that range, so there's lag. Like he's also a hard character to punish without B due to how fast he can be. And you might say, oh, but what about his edge guardable thing? Yes, but with Arsene. But if Arsene's too close to the stage, you could probably still be invincible by the time that happens. And if he's using Arsene far away from the stage, that's basically your holy grail to kill him. And then there's the tether. The tether. It's a quick tether, so I don't think going down too much is going to be worth it. So it's better to be ledge trapping there instead of hitting him with the tether. And then there's Greninja. Oh boy, Greninja. I wouldn't say it's Lucina's worst matchup. I think it's Sonic, but Greninja definitely feels like a bit of Sonic in terms of how oppressive he can be with his dash attack. Like Lucina can have trouble hitting some low characters, and I think so with Greninja. But Greninja's a bit more of an outlier, since not only is he low, but he's also got quick moves. His dash attack's got a pretty nice hitbox, and which leads to things. That up air drag, oh yeah. If you think Sheik up smash against Lucina was great, oh no, this one's even better because, it's the Greninja up smash. That shit is gonna hit. Even though you might say, oh, but Sakura hits Greninja, gave him that 2-hit thing. That's true. That is very true, but that still doesn't take away from the fact that it can kill pretty early. And he's got the speed to tech chase like Sheik. He's also got a multi-hit projectile. It doesn't lead to like bouncing fish like Sheik, but it definitely puts Lucina in a worse situation because Needles, it's multi-hits, yeah, but it's only for a small bit. Whereas Greninja, if he manages to hit you with that, you're going to be there for a longer time. So he can use that to think, oh, I think he's going to DI this way by the way the blue line is going. So let me do this combo instead of this one, and then I'll save that one for when he actually does DI that way. So he's got like the setups for it. And side tilt is pretty long ranged. You can probably outrange it, but you might get your hand hit at the same time if you do that. And you might say, well, what about the down tilt tech chase against Greninja? It's something, but it's not that good sometimes. But you should still do it because it's tech chase. It's damage. You gotta chase them down with the techs. And like jumping in this matchup is gonna suck. It's like Palu but worse. And he's also got that fair, so if he just reads your jump somehow, yeah, when you're going down, he could probably just hit you with that, or just parry and F smash. In fact, I think parry F smash is just better. That F smash has a lot of range too. Like you're gonna get hit by it, plenty. And the down air, oh, he's approaching you with down air. If you somehow miss your aerial, it's going to be hell. Like don't try to challenge it that much. Counter can't do much either. So just let him land and then do the punish basically. But if you can challenge him, that could also be a way to keep center stage on you. But this matchup can be pretty much hell. It's like if Mythra had actual kill power and the recovery against Lucina. But the difference between Mythra is that Greninja actually has some frame data with lag sometimes. Because another saving grace that doesn't make this unwinnable is that Nair, you can tell when it's going to be with lag and when it isn't. I remember Chief Angel, a player from the island, telling me this, but I don't remember what was the condition for it. But yeah, these characters are what I definitely say are the losing matchups for Lucina. Definitely, you might want to consider something for that. And with Spargo saying that Cloud wins, in fact, look, Cloud went from even to like losing. You know what? I could believe him. I could believe him, but I have a Lucina bias, and the fact I've used Cloud plenty of times for Sora, I think I just have a Cloud for Sora. Just makes me believe that. But even then, some slightly losings here. Some people think it's a losing, like Inkling Mail and Min Min. So I'm just gonna put Cloud on slightly losing, but that's just more based on the fact that you know, I haven't seen there's not much Cloud Lucina play out there, but Sparkle does use Lucina sometimes in Coinbots, so I think I'll just take his opinion and put him there too. But Lucina can definitely do stuff against Aegis, so don't worry about that. So yeah, this is how my MU chart is looking. Let's save. And goodbye everyone.